right, let's paint. I'm gonna start this thing off with a more red undertone. If you watch these live streams, let me know if you're back and you know that I refer to this as our undertone. And you know, those of you that have been watching these as well, I love it and I appreciate it. I'm so glad and I'm grateful to paint for you. But I developed this program called Paint with Garibaldi so that we can paint together. And I hope to see some of you there. So I'm looking forward to interacting with you guys on that as well. But it'll be much different than this. We're gonna be creating together. And as we're watching this, be sure to leave a comment, a question down below. I'll do my best to answer them. Great question. Okay, good. We have a few correct guesses. I'm not gonna say it, but I'll let you guys guess in the comments who had the first one that you can tell, that you see. All right, someone asked, what other mediums have I used? And I used to do graffiti early on. Naturally, I always and still do carry a sketchbook, so I'm always drawing. Design, I haven't really done much sculpture stuff, even though it still fascinates me. Man, what else? I don't know. I love all kinds of mediums of art. I do like to write. I have been. I guess that would be another artistic medium. I know we got some guesses. What are some of the wrong guesses? I'm curious. Are there any wrong ones? Okay. And I only say that not to put you on blast, but I love the wrong ones because, you know, technically until we're done, you're right. Okay, so someone just guessed that this is Jamie Foxx. All right, let's keep going. See, those are all valid, guys. All valid. All right, great question. Someone just asked, did I go to art school or art college for art? And I did not. I literally barely made it out of high school. And I just started teaching myself how to do this. You know, I had a lot of great art teachers growing up, but I didn't need college to pursue my career. I don't think that there's anything wrong with going to college. I just chose not to go. Let's splash some paint. This thing needs some energy. All right, what tips do I have for other artists? The best advice I can give, if you're just starting off, you're like, how do I become a better artist, is take my Paint with Garibaldi class. Also, do figure drawing, draw from life. I will preach this literally till the day I die, that to me, the greatest artists are the most observant people. And the more you can become observant of the world around you, the better art you're gonna create. Because you start to build this memory bank up of imagery and it supports you while you're creating. And so take figure drawing classes. Okay, so someone asked, what kind of paints am I using? And these are just latex house paint. That's all it is. I got it at Home Depot. And that's also why it's so fluid, because this paint was made to fill up large spaces, which means if it was too thick, it would be too slow to get it up on the wall, and I just prefer to use latex house paint. But any of you who do any sort of live painting, I would love to know what you use. Maybe you can inspire the rest of us to try it out. All right. One of the hardest parts, someone asked, what's the hardest part about starting to paint full time? One of the hardest parts was just making money. It was finding clients and being able to pay bills. That was the hardest part. And then I would say my answer to that was, how do we maintain this? My answer to that was just really connecting and building relationships. So I would go to charity events, I would give away my work, but in exchange, I would meet people, I would exchange information, and we would build relationships from there. So, and with relationships come the inquiries and so on. So that was one of the hardest parts. I think the other part too was, I dealt with a lot of criticism early on. I got my first publishing deal when I was 20 years old. And when you're new, what they don't tell you or no one can really prepare you for is criticism. And I got a lot of criticism because people would say, oh, well, your art looks like this person and that person. Again, I wouldn't go back and change a thing because I was just creating what naturally came to me, and I think you should too, despite what the world says. So two of the hardest things about starting painting full-time for me was, again, early on, making enough money to have a career out of it, and then dealing with the criticism, some of the hardest things. So someone said or asked, in what ways has my art had a positive impact on others? And I would hopefully that other people can answer this, but one of the things that I have always strived for is to use my platform as a way to really benefit and inspire people. So I would say whether we've helped raise money for different charities to, doing keynote speaking at high schools. When I first started, I would speak at high schools around the country and share my journey, but also encourage them to follow their passions as well. So just from giving and sharing information has been hopefully one of the most impactful things. But again, it's hard for me to say because I would, want someone else to decide how I've impacted them, if that makes sense. All right, keep those questions coming right now. You see it come to life. I'm not gonna give it a title yet because I'm sure some of you see it. But I'm just adding layers. You guys if you've been watching this from the beginning, you've seen this come to life one brush stroke at a time, and that's all this process is. This process is one layer at a time, one brush stroke at a time. And even right now, it's not done, it's not perfect, but we trust this process that we're gonna add more layers to this. And that's it relates so much to just life in general, where you've really gotta just have a bigger vision so that you don't get stuck in the moment and get discouraged about anything. You gotta understand that even the failures are part of lessons that you have to learn. So how did I stay positive during a time when I wasn't making a lot of money? That's a great question. So even early on, there's something that I did that I want to encourage all of you to do who are starting a new journey. And it's very simple. I wrote myself a letter. And I looked into the future and I thought, okay, what do I want to be? And I kind of got that stuck in my head. And then I wrote myself a letter and I put it by my door. And I am not lying when I say this, I would read it every single time. Every single time I would walk out that door, I would read it, and I would have a different vision of my journey in my world. So I started to look at frustrations and struggles as this is part of where I'm going. And I kept in my mind, we're going somewhere. And that would affect my way of thinking would affect my actions, and my actions are what brought to life my, everything that we've been doing. So having a positive, really trying to keep a positive outlook and a reminder of the mission that you're on is one of the best things you can do to remind yourself, like, hey, this is a hard time right now, and it is, especially right now for everyone. But having a bigger vision of where do we want to go in the future? Like, and I'm not just saying next year, I'm talking about decades from now, like 10, 20 years. Where do you see yourself? And right now, what seeds are you planting to help yourself grow to that point? I like to talk a lot about and share a lot about those type of things because a lot of us get stuck in the micro problems of today when there's such a bigger picture that we're part of. So someone asked, what artists have influenced me the most? I would say Denny Dent for sure. Leroy Neiman is a favorite artist of mine. Man, who else? Andy Warhol is a favorite. Ernie Barnes is a favorite of mine as well. A lot of different artists. I love his glasses, by the way. I almost slipped and said his name because I don't like to give it a title until I'm done. But I do love his glasses. This little line that I'm drawing around it helps me just define and block in this figure. But also you realize you don't need to throw paint all the time. You can just a single line can say so much. I'm gonna add some gray for the teeth to start. I'm gonna leave that open, and we're gonna go back with some white. And it's just a quick way to create some depth while you're painting your teeth. You don't need to make it all white. I used to do that a lot back in the day. I would just go in with the white and just make completely white teeth. And you know what? Our teeth aren't all white. If they are, God bless you. But I don't want that to reflect here. I'm gonna get some black real quick. I use the black sometimes. If I get paint in a part like on this mouth that I don't want it there, I'll get some black. I'll just touch it up, just like that. Let's go get this white again. Let's add some highlights around the face. And if you don't have any subjects to look at, to learn from, do self-portraits. Look at yourself in the mirror. You know what you look like, and you can gauge if it's looking like it should or not. So let's keep going with this painting. Let's get some bigger brushes. I'm gonna use this black to block in some parts of the face. Add some more wrinkles. I love wrinkles. I don't know about you. I don't have too many wrinkles on my head, but I love painting them. It's so much character. All right, let's start adding a color on the outside. You know, I'm gonna get my roller for this. pencil. This will go a lot quicker. Quicker, messier, but quicker. We're getting near the end, so if you have questions, ask them down below, and I'll do my best to answer them, or they will throw the question at me so I can answer it as well, if it's one that we haven't already answered. So someone just asked, do I use references for my paintings? And yes, I do. There's a lot of studying involved. There's different ways that I prepare. Now, I don't have a picture nearby that I'm looking at, but I do preparation before I approach my painting. I would say, and I'm able to do that because I can draw. So that's why I always stress, learn how to draw from life, learn figure drawing, so that even if you don't have a reference of a face, you know how a face is supposed to still look. All right, let's get some purple. I don't know why I want to put some purple on here. I like doing things just because I can. You know what? We forgot his color. Let's put his color on. He's a gentleman. What's the color? Throw some paint around, get rid of that. Go back to this purple, add some light to it. We'll bring you closer to see all these details. All right, come on in. Take one last look at the ultimate hero, Stan Lee, the creator of Marvel Comics, and just, I think, all of us who grew up watching comics, he is our hero who does not wear a cape. Also, rest in peace. Take a look. All right, if you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or Periscope, you're seeing this up close right now. Take a look at the colors, the detail. Some of the movements that I do look weird, but it makes sense when you see the final product, hopefully. Also, thank you so much for watching these live streams. Always, I love seeing the familiar names pop up in the comments. I love shouting you guys out. Those of you wondering how you can support, share these videos, like them, and if you don't already do it, follow and subscribe to these channels that you're watching them on. We also have an online store, garibaldiarts.com/shop. You can buy prints of images that I've created on these lives. And then we also launched a new program called Paint with Garibaldi, where I will be teaching you how to paint as well. You can sign up for that on my website, garibaldiarts.com. So take one last look before we wrap up this session, and then we'll chat before we sign off. That was fun. That was like such a fun painting today. I'll fix them up. You guys say hi to them when you flip the camera around. All right, if you guys are missing it, you can see the live stream still going. Let's go back here.